Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with today's trading action. All right, we've got some really interesting things happening today, right? We've got a lot of trade signals kicking into gear with the dollar sort of bearish tone, right? The market is factoring in further rate cuts from the US, the Fed. Okay, so Aussie going up, Euro going up, Sterling, Kiwi, and dollar yen, dollar Swiss, all going down, right? So the majors are in play, but this is the key thing, right? We've got the PCE price index numbers coming out today, and this is it gets a lot of airtime, and because a lot of media says this is one of the key inflation numbers that the Fed loves, right? Well, I'll tell you what, the Fed loves the CPI numbers. The PCE price index, yeah, it gives us a little bit of an insight into what's going on, but it's not the best number, right? So don't think it's the number one inflation number out there. It is important to us to see what's going on because we do have signals here. Now, Euro, this is an easy one, right? I'm looking at the opportunity here. We've got a little bit of a mixed signal here, right? The direction overrides. We are not looking to sell, okay? So forget about getting short on the long-term charts. That's not an option because overall, Euro is still going up. So we're looking to buy on the hourly charts. What do we need to buy, right? We need weaker CPI numbers, right? So just come back to your calendar, come down to find out the time of the release, okay? PCE price index. For me, it's at 10:30 p.m. 2.3 is the forecast. The range 2.2 to 2.3. If we get a number at 2.2 or below, like say 2.1, right? The dollar, it confirms the Fed will have to start cutting rates, okay? And that confirms also that Euro is going topside, right? So this is the thing. We've got the signal. We've got some key data coming up. Connect the dots. Lower inflation in the US, Euro goes up. That's all we need to be doing. So there's a couple of different ways you can be looking to get into this trade, right? And if I just come back to the majors, right? Actually, let me just come back over here to Euro. So I've got both time frames here. Looking at getting into the trade now, at the moment, we are getting a bit of a buy signal here on the short-term charts. It is a little bit in the middle of nowhere, right? So it's got room to sort of move around. The overall momentum of the dollar is down, so it supports a stronger dollar. But we've had a couple of little top outs here. Does it drift lower, right? Well, I tell you what, I don't know, to be honest. The long-term charts, it's going up. Now, we do have an overbought situation, but I'm not worried about that. I'm just looking at Euro. I'm trying to get long. I'd love to get long Euro on a dip. But if the PCE price index numbers come out weak, it's just going to keep going up. So we've got to be looking to get in. I'd say above 117.50. Yeah, sure, on a technical break. But you could possibly get into the trade on the release of the numbers or wait for the longer term signal over the course of the next day or so. This is the balance and the decisions that you need to be sort of thinking about. You can use Gorilla Trader, right? For those traders in the program, you've got a chance to use Gorilla Trader on the numbers. You can look for Trendline Trader to get into the trade or use Primetime Pro. All we need to be doing or thinking is, do we buy dollars or not, right? Well, the trend is your friend, right? And if you're even just focusing on these three pairs, Aussie, Euro, and Sterling all going up, right? We're looking for buy signals. The inflation numbers is a buy signal, right? Weaker inflation numbers is a buy signal to get into these trades, right? So that's what we're looking at. Is there much to be sort of doing during the European or Asian European session? Well, there is, but don't forget the CPI numbers out of the Eurozone. I've got that orange, right? Because it's like a medium impacting number. Germany, I should say, CPI numbers are a lot more important. The Eurozone often gets overlooked. The Canadian GDP numbers, well, you know what? The market's still talking about inflation too much, I think, for me, for the GDP numbers to come into play. Then you got the PCE price index, personal spending, and there's also personal income out of the US. So that's the key part of it, right? This is the answer. Does Euro keep going up or not? It depends short term on these numbers here, right? And that's all we're looking for. So anyway, so factor that into your day. Keep an eye on the signals as we go through the course of the day. I really like the opportunity to get into these trades like a weak dollar situation, right? It is that's the direction that the market is factoring in for the yields. Okay, so we should see weaker US numbers. We're going to see equity indices go up. We're going to see Euro, Sterling, Aussie go up, and the dollar go down. We will have all the answers in that North American session. So do you trade now or wait? Well, to me, it's a wait situation, right? Because if I get the answers, well, then I can put my cash into a trade here and look for the good opportunities on the back of that. Now, outside of that, yeah, have a look. There's a bit of a mixed bag here as well with Sterling Aussie. But at the other end of the spectrum, nothing is lining up just yet. That doesn't mean it won't change over the course of the Asia session. So what I would be doing, come back at the start of the European session, check the live signals, see what's lining up, and see if there's a trade to put on. All right, guys, have a good trade day. All the best. Cheerio.